Well, hey guys, I wanted to show you a little fixture or drilling jig that I made to help me deal with tapered tangs. And I'm getting ready to finish this semi-skinner I've been working on. And I'm going to put these elk antler scales on it, and I've got prepared. I've got the liners laminated on with some epoxy, and I'm getting ready to drill the holes. So when I do a tapered tang knife, it's a lot different than when I do something with a straight tang. So I think you can probably see the taper of that tang. It starts out, it gets just about half its thickness. It starts out up here about 140 thousandths, and then when we get down here, it tapers down to just about 70 thousandths. So there is a taper. And if it were just all straight, that's another matter. That's fairly easy to drill if you're using straight flat handle material, but this antler is pretty irregular, as you can see. Plus I have the tang taper to deal with, and when I profile these knives out, after I get the profile down, and then I will lay out the holes and I drill it, but I drill the holes while everything is parallel. But now I've got a taper to deal with, so what I've done in the past is I have clamped up the knife in this little vise that I had, and these are 4140 jaws that have been heat treated, and they're buffed and polished on the inside so they don't damage anything. But what that does is when I torque these two screws down, it would pull the knife back to being perpendicular to my drill bit, and I do that on this little flat that you see that's right forward of the guard. That's about the only, from there to there, the only parallel areas on this knife. But if I clamp on that, it'll pull it back up, so when I drill down through, I won't have an angled hole. So what I have done in the past is I have just clamped the knife in this little vise, and then I used to use this jack screw that I would adjust to keep everything from tilting or flexing as I drill. And if it did that, of course, you're not going to have a straight hole anymore. But this was fiddly, and again, trying to get it to stay put on this irregular surface was a challenge. So I came up with this little drilling jig, and all I did was I adapted my old clamp vise, if you will, and I just came up with a way to make a jack system that's stationary and will stay fixed. And all I did was, short of cutting a dovetail on anything, I just took a piece of round stock, this is round drill rod, and then I drilled out this block of steel here, and that's fixed now. And so if I want to get it to a point and keep it there, I just tighten it and it's fixed. It's not going to move. And then this is the jack screw now that takes the place of this thing. So after I get everything set, I can adjust the height till it just supports the end of the handle and lock it, and it's not going to move, and I can move the whole deal around from hole to hole and not have to worry about repositioning this jack screw. So let me get this knife ready to drill, and I'll show you this thing in use. Okay, I've got everything set up now. I have the knife in the clamp, and these are tight, so it forced it parallel, and then I just adjusted the jack screw here until it's just touching, and the top of this is dome, but it's just touching the underside of that stag, and I can't flex it, so I know that when I drill through, my holes are going to be straight. And I also position this to where it's going to be out of the way of all the holes that I drill. I won't be drilling this hole because that's just for my push stick while I taper the tang. But now I can move everything around and nothing gets out of, gets off kilter. So now it's a pretty easy matter just to slowly drill through. Okay, now when I want to do the other side, of course, I just put the other scale on here, flip everything over, reclamp it, and then I'll drill back through the existing holes to get everything lined up. I still have to drill the 1/4 inch hole. Okay, there's the 1/4 inch hole, and what I did just to show what the jig can do, I just moved this inboard, and depending on the length of my handle, I can move this. I can move the support as far up or down as I want. I just have to adjust my screw. And again, you see there's no flex. I just have to adjust my jack screw to when I put it in there and lock it, it is supporting that. So yeah, this little jig, I've used it a few times now, but it's working out well, and it was easy to make. Like I said, I just took some scrap pieces around the shop and made this thing. But constructing these knives is tedious enough, and there are enough steps. And if you watch my videos on some of these builds, you know that. Or if you've made one yourself, Lloyd, you know what that's all about. There's just a lot of work that goes into these. So anytime that you can make a fixture or jig, call it what you will, to make your life easier in the shop, well, go ahead and do it. I had fun making this, and it was just something whose time has come, because I had cursed at that old system enough. But this is nice and stable, and I get good results, and I had fun making it, like I said, and I had fun showing it to you guys. So thanks for watching, and I hope everybody's doing well, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.